Good morning, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, your boy Third Eye Shooter. And today on Giraffe and the G Stream, we have a jam-packed episode for you today. Jam-packed. Laptop in front of me. We're getting cooking today, boys and girls. So, as I said before in my previous videos, I usually like to sit down and think about something before I explain something. But in the case of the Katt Williams, Shannon Sharpe interview, in truth, there's really nothing for me to digest. I'm 33 years old. And everything he's speaking about, it's history of. You can look it up and research it. So as always, I'm going to be putting up videos, clips, links, all that. So one of the first things I wrote down and I wanted to get into is the whole men in dresses. Now, being as I'm older, I've seen this trope multiple times, but I think it's strayed away from where it once was in comparison to where it is now. Now, if you don't do your research, you haven't really been into movies or TV shows, there's a man who goes by the name of Flip Wilson. Now, Flip Wilson, back in the day, would put on a dress and would do an impression of, I believe the person's name was like Griselda. He would put on a dress. But he put on a dress, if I'm correct, it was under the guise of he wrote that character. He wrote it. He created it. Where we're going now, you can see that there is clear gatekeeping. So we mentioned men putting on dresses. Now, I'm going to put up the clip. It's ironic. Kevin Hart says, I've never been asked to put on a dress.
In an old interview, Kevin Hart got asked if he would ever wear a dress. What do you think about the response that he gives?
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for...
I definitely haven't ran into to put on a dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. Protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
It's never come across my script. It's never crossed my desk. You got to know your boundaries. What did he then do? Either that same year or a year later.
Talked last year also for 5-year engagement, and we talked about this theme going around in the black community about black comedians wearing dresses.
Yeah.
You went on SNL and did the Provision there. You caught some flack for it. Do you feel like it's unfair that black comedians might have to answer for stuff that like Robin Harris doesn't have to answer for?
No, you know what? I was actually one of those comedians that said, no, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress. And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, I said, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it. Oh, Kwanzaa is relevant. Yeah, that's funny. She's small. I can do the whole thing. It'll be funny. I think now, knowing about the opportunities that can be thrown at you, it's all about choice. No.
I also bring something up about, now, I can tell you about Flip Wilson, Big Mama's House, Tu Wong Fu, Julie Newmar. Now, with that movie, you have Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes all doing drag, and you go, why? Now, don't get me wrong, is it a decent movie? It's a good movie, but when you sit back and look at it, you go, why? Why did you need to put 3 powerful actors who were just becoming in roles of women? And then you go, oh, it makes sense now. You put on a dress, and then you get success. Now, Katt Williams has said it in multiple interviews. But one of the things I realize is that he asked Shannon Sharpe, he goes, why do we always ask why the lie is lying? Why do we not take the information and research it? So nothing Katt Williams has said in this interview is new. This is stuff people have said before. One of the things he also mentions in the interview was, he goes, I told you guys about Harvey Weinstein trying to do something to me before it blew up, and no one believed me. And I went back. Now, I'm not going to put that up, but I went back. It was about maybe anywhere between 2 to 4 months, depending on where, because some of the videos are actually like re-upload, so it doesn't have the original date. But you go, when the Harvey Weinstein case dropped, there were more than 20 names. So was it that when Katt Williams said it, he was lying? Or was it that when Katt Williams said it, people were like, it's much easier to shun and push out someone who always says crazy stuff, but we never fact check the crazy stuff. So now when you look back at it, you go, okay. But what's also crazy is this. I'll put it up. He mentions Gary Owen. Now, Gary Owen, I'm 33 years old. I remember Gary Owen from the 90s. Comic View, Def Comedy Jam, and I go, he really has never crossed over. When you look at his YouTube, he doesn't even have 500,000 followers. You go, why would someone who's that funny not be that successful? And he makes a response to what Katt Williams says. I'll put it up here. He literally says, you know what's crazy? I was in a situation where I felt like someone wanted me to give him fellatio.
Haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself when I was in this office in this room going, well, this is I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me. Like, this is happening in real life. And the dude did it, and he'll always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now? I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I made sure I made it very clear I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it, but I was wondering. I was like, ooh, is this happening to me right now in real life? So I think Katt was saying I haven't sold my.
And I had to let him know, yo, that's not my bag. Now I don't knock anyone that's gay. You can do whatever you want to, but if right before you get the chance or opportunity to be successful, you have to engage in some kind of sexual act where you don't like, that's gatekeeping. Now, in fact, if you want to, 1 second, there's an ambulance going by, I apologize. I'm also going to put up right here, Terry Crews. Terry Crews, if I'm correct, about 4 or 5 years ago, went before state senate and going like, a famous Hollywood producer grabbed my private parts in front of my wife.
My name is Terry Crews. I am an actor, author, former athlete, advocate, and a survivor of a sexual assault. This past year, we have seen powerful men in Hollywood and elsewhere finally held accountable for sexual harassment and assault. We also saw the backlash survivors faced after coming forward. I wanted these survivors to know that I believed them, I supported them, and that this happened to me too. This encouraged me to come forward with my own experience and reflect on the cult of toxic masculinity that exists in our society. Then, in 2016, while at a party with my wife, I was sexually assaulted by a successful Hollywood agent. The assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power.
Katt Williams had a joke in one of his original comedy specials. He goes, no one says the same one thing about you for years unless it's true. We all know Whitney Houston smoked her kneecaps off. And for years, not black actors, but actors in general have been like, yeah, Hollywood's weird. They'll ask you to do some weird stuff to really get you to the next level. So, like I said, Gary Owen literally just said it yesterday in the response. I'm going to put it up here. That's my first thing. Now, I can name you a bunch of other actors, Tyler Perry, Jamie Foxx, Miguel Nunez Jr. Now, Miguel Nunez, that's a Joanna man. Again, another actor where you go, why was that movie out? So you're a basketball star who's egomaniacal, you fail, and then the only way you can become successful is you become a woman and go into drag? There's something very popular, or was popular back in, like, let's say like the 50s to, like, let's say maybe the early 90s. It was called blaxploitation films. I see blaxploitation so much more, and people are like, oh my God, we like it. And I go, why? As a black man, I've never liked any Tyler Perry movies. And he says, Katt Williams says something amazing in there. He goes, Tyler Perry and Ricky Smiley couldn't play a man to save their life. So I went back and watched a couple movies. I watched Tyler Perry and Alex Cross, and I was like, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Another couple things I don't buy is that this is not the first time we've heard people saying Tyler Perry is a gatekeeper. This is not the first time we've had actors or seen actors work with him once and never again. And you go, Shamor Moore is one of them. Shamor Moore was in one movie with him. Or maybe I'm bugging, but I can only find one movie. Same thing with Boris Kodjoe. You go, these guys are big. They elevated themselves. So is it that they did one Tyler Perry movie and saw where it was going? You go, oh, okay. Because in truth, it sounds mean. Maybe it's because I don't watch that kind of stuff. I can't think of anyone's name who's like big or in the public eye that works with Tyler Perry. Joe Smith, the bald head dude. I only know that because his character is extravagant. He's loud. You go, okay. Back to blaxploitation films. I think that Tyler Perry figured out that black people will tether to like little stereotypes, idioms, and colloquialisms that connect us. And it's true, yeah, sometimes we need to see that connection for us to be like, you know what, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's us. But if that's the only thing you do is expose idioms and, you know, some stereotypes within the black community, you go, you're monopolizing the black life, black plight, black experiences. Now, that was just my first topic. I'll probably retouch it, but I'm going to cross this one out, and we're going to go to number 2. Now, another thing, this is in no order. This is just how my brain wrote it down. So, in the interview, I'm not going to pull it up, but you can watch it. It's 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 2 seconds. It's one of the greatest interviews I've watched because it's raw. There are moments where he pauses and thinks about what he's going to say, but I think he's thinking about how he's going to word it because, again, I'll touch on that. Wording it again because let's say he is blackballed. He's the one who's like, yo, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. He still operates within an industry, but he has his own standards. Ludacris. Ironically, he mentioned Ludacris about how him and Ludacris were like, hey, one of you guys got to pick who it is. And he goes, the other guy was Ludacris. So I stopped and I was like, okay, let me fact check this. Let's think about it. Remember, I'm 33 years old. Since the inception of Ludacris, I can think about it, he was always known for having long hair and the sideburns. On an interview with Opie and Anthony, Patrice O'Neal, and Ludacris, they're talking. And I don't remember what, but Patrice asked him a question. And Ludacris says something to the effect of, I cut my hair because I wanted to separate Ludacris from Chris Bridges. You have to cut your hair to do that? Then when you look at Katt Williams, Money Mike, or Cat in the Hat, when he had the long hair and the sideburns. So it's not very foreign. So then let's go deeper. Let's just see. When did Ludacris cut his hair? And then after he cut his hair, what happened? If I'm correct, in Too Fast, Too Furious, he had long hair. I think it's somewhere around, let's say 2005, maybe later, around like Hustle and Flow or Crash, he then cut his hair. After he cut his hair, he was in a bunch of movies, and you go, okay, you're in a bunch of movies, but you released a freestyle That's one of the things that I've always loved about people when they like react to something or like do a response. If the response isn't you addressing the words that someone said directly about you and you're addressing the person as like making fun of them or you're tap dancing around it, Ludacris did a freestyle and that's like 5 swipes tap dancing around the truth. Bro, you literally cut your hair for the opportunity for fame. And then if you cut your hair to separate yourself, why did you let your hair grow again? Why is your hair long again? If you had to do that to separate Ludacris from Chris Bridges. Now, I spoke on Tyler Perry. Now I'm going to touch on Oprah here and there. One of the things I don't think he talks about Oprah, but Tyler Perry and Oprah have been in the spotlight recently about like the malpractice of people. Ludacris, 50 Cent, and a couple other rappers have had stories of them doing interviews and Oprah totally trying to dismiss them. There's a famous interview of, I think it was Crash, or I don't remember what movie it was. He went to do an interview with Oprah, with all the cast. And majority of the interview, Oprah's just asking him about his rap career and why he curses. Oprah, I'm here doing something for a movie. Why are you trying to bring up my rap career? I'm rapping and acting, 2 separate things. Katt Williams also says something in here that always stands high to me. He goes, as a black man, that shouldn't be the line. That's something I was literally just talking to about with my friends. Why is it that my decision making is always tethered to my blackness? As a black man, I just can't make decisions that are outside my skin color. I always have to agree with and promote and big up black because I'm black. No, that is ignorant. And it's one of the things I've always realized the black community does to itself, and they don't realize we discredit each other simply because, oh, you're black and you don't like me. To prove it to you, I'm not gonna put it up, but do you remember the whole Keith Lee situation? Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco were having a nightcap. And Ocho Cinco was like, yeah, he's tearing down black businesses. And what are his credentials? And Shannon Sharpe goes, he has taste buds. The idea you're trying to diminish a black man who built a reputation on giving his opinion, now he gives you opinions, and other artists like Cardi B goes, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Keith Lee isn't valid. That's why Ocho Cinco apologized, because you're wrong. My blackness should not be a defining maker in what I decide. Oh, you don't like that? Well, maybe you're not black enough. You're not standing up for black people. You're the problem. So yeah, I'm looking at Ludacris's movies, and if you look at from when he cut his hair, you go, oh, wait. So let's say in Hustle and Flow, he cut his hair. Then there's Fred Claus. Then there's Ball Don't Lie, Rock and Roller, Max Payne, another Fast and Furious, Gamer, No Strings Attached, Fast 5, New Year's Eve, Fast 6, Fast 7. And you go, you typecast yourself to either be, well, in truth, it's always a guy in a car or some kind of a producer. And I get it. Max Payne, you were a detective, but your role in Max Payne didn't make that movie. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I gotta go see Max Payne 4, Luda. It was, yo, Marky Mark did his thing. And plus, people at the time, Max Payne was it's still a fire game. Bullet Time, the Painkillers, that game is fire. So people were like, I want to go see Max Payne because I love that genre. I love the games. I love the story. They want to go see it. Now, on to the next topic. Now, this is a juicy one. Kevin Hart. It's time for us to address the elephant in the room, literally. Kevin Hart lied to us. He's been lying to us for years, and I can prove it to you with a couple of facts. So, do you remember when he went on the Breakfast Club and was like, and I'll put it up. Oh, yeah. Katt Williams was in the position, and he could have been here, but he fucked off and doing this, and weed, and you go, okay.
You have the people that Katt Williams named. Mm-hmm. Little Rel, Gerard Carmichael, mm-hmm. Hannibal Buress, myself, Tiffany Haddish.
Correct.
Little Rel is seeing so much success after doing his special Relevant. He went on to do Get Out. He now has a show that he's producing and starring in on Fox. Gerard Carmichael had his own show that he starred, wrote, produced. Gerard Carmichael was on to his second special. Hannibal Buress saw success within comedy specials and is now doing various movies where he's getting the opportunity to have features and to have a presence. Me, Kevin Hart, the guy that sits on top right now, have taken advantage of all the money that I have. I've shot over 56 specials for the up-and-coming generation of comedy. Why? Because I'm trying to create opportunities for others. So rather than complaining about it, I'm fixing it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I also take full responsibility for any and everything that I've done in the fucking business, good or bad. My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have.
He fucked it off. I'm gonna put it up. How did he fuck off studios? But look at the movies he's in. Look at the TVs he's in. You go, if studios saw him as a liability, he wouldn't work anymore. Monique was blackballed and said she's hard to work with. Don't work no more. You can look up blacklisted actors and blackballed actors, black, white, whatever race, and go, once you've been blackballed, you're not acting no more. But how is it, if he fucked off and everything, how is it he's still able to do Netflix specials? I can go on just about any streaming service and type in Katt Williams, and 1 to 10 of his specials will pop up, and you go, if someone didn't bring in money or damaged that studio, would they even keep him? Let's look at a situation like Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors was accused of something and was immediately dropped from his agency, was dropped from Marvel, and was dropped from other movies. Kevin, you lied to us. It's not, I don't think Katt Williams was ever blackballed. I don't think he ever fucked off, shows or whatever you were saying or whatever you were accusing us of. Because, like he says, his IMDb speaks for itself. Look at the years he's active. And in between those years he's active, there's TVs, comedy specials. So you go, he was always working. So how did he ruin or destroy anything? One of the funniest things in that, it didn't age well. Because Tiffany Haddish is so funny. To this date, like Katt Williams said, tell me one Tiffany Haddish joke. Can't tell you one. In fact, where is she now? She's so funny. I realize now we live in a society where we'd much rather believe a juicy lie than a dry truth. And the dry truth is, again, because I listen to different types of radios, Kevin Hart was doing Opie and Anthony shows. And in Kevin Hart, Patrice O'Neal would talk about how they were doing rounds and how they didn't like LA comics. So how is it, Kevin Hart, you were working in New York and simultaneously blowing it up in LA, but you ain't like LA comics? He mentions a good thing. Who else immediately went to doing Soul Plane and then had his own show and this? You go, yeah, that pretty was fast tracky. A little bit fast track to success, but then you go, but why? And then you realize, you say, Kevin Hart, you've said one thing before and then did something completely opposite. Yeah, I won't wear a dress. You got to stand on your something, but then you do it. Sorry, my dog was jumping up. So, another thing that always kind of like was always like red flaggy to me was, and I now believe it so much more on that Kevin Hart really is a plant, was, do you remember during the time when if you were a male actor or a female actor, you cheated on someone, you got canceled? I'm going to give you some names. Remember the uproar with Tiger Woods? What about when Jesse James cheated on Sandra Bullock? What about when Ashton Kutcher cheated on Demi Moore? What about when Adam Levine was caught in that weird tangle with a model who wanted to be so holy. She was like, I need to expose myself because it's bad on my conscience that I was sleeping with a married man. Thank you. But you see what I'm saying? So how is it that Kevin Hart literally has cheated on every one of his wives and he's just able to keep navigating through it, where it's like, these other people you canceled. Oh, nope. Nope, get out of here. Beat it. You cheater, you're trash. But Kevin Hart literally has cheated on every one of his wives. His first wife said it. I think his wife just recently, he's been cheating on her. His assistant done said it. And you go, you're a serial cheater. And in other platforms, on other medias, when someone cheats, we destroy them. We can't trust you. You're a cheater. You're a piece of trash. When Dr. Disrespect, a streamer, cheat on his wife, everyone was like, oh my God, no more him. But Kevin Hart cheats on his wife. Crazy. Multiple people say it, but he just still successful. Why? Who's really backing him? Where's not so much where's the money coming from, but who's really funding him? These are the questions where when you look back, you go, wait, that's right. Other actors who cheated, we were like, oh my God, that's terrible. But Kevin Hart does it, and it's like, okay, cool. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, I've always laughed when people don't address what someone says, they address a person. So Kevin Hart's response, oh, you angry, let that anger out. I watched the whole 2 hours and 49 minutes, Kev. I didn't see anger. I didn't see frustration. I saw a calculated man who navigated through the industry and saw things like, yo, that's not for me. Yo, that's not for me. I'm cool. Thanks. Nah, that's not it. And where one man said no, another man said yes and skyrocketed. But the skyrocket cost you your integrity. Because again, like I said in the Breakfast Club, all the people you say you brought up, personally, I never thought Hannibal Buress was funny. He's a cool dude. I've seen his interviews, but I don't think he's funny. When he was on, I forgot the name of the show, the sketch comedy show, with the guy with the big hair where he just stood there, wasn't it for me. Didn't make me laugh. Where's the backlash on that? That's my question. So, first page down. And like I said before, if Kevin Hart told us the truth about the reason why Katt Williams was blackballed and he fucked off everything, I'm putting it up. How was he able to continue making these movies, doing these TV shows, being able to work with Netflix? If companies saw him as a liability, they would drop him the same way they dropped Jonathan Majors and other actor, artists, and performers who were a problem. Another thing, like I said, so this then goes into the next thing. Why has George Carlin never been, even though he passed away, how come George Carlin was never never accused of, oh, you stealing jokes? Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais. These are just some names. And then when you think about it, like I said, I'm going to put it up. There's proof of Cedric the Entertainer stealing jokes. There's proof of Steve Harvey stealing jokes from Mark Curry. Now, I'm going to put up something now. The Mark Curry show was Hanging with Cooper. The other one was called Steve Harvey Show. The Steve Harvey Show came out in 1996. Hanging with Cooper came out in 1992. Now, I'm going to put them up here. If you even read the synopsis of the show, it's literally a copy of this man's show. And you go, Steve, you don't steal? Well, the show you did wasn't really original. It was literally the same exact thing, except you had Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, and it was Mark Curry and his people. But the thing that's sad is Mark Curry put you on. If you go back far enough, you see Mark Curry touring with you. He took you on tours. I think we need to acknowledge that when someone or the same thing keeps happening or keeps being told about someone, like I said, we'd much rather believe a juicy lie than a dry truth. These people steal jokes. Cat in the Hat did it in 1999.
Too high. That's all I'm saying. You are not supposed to be at the gas station making life decisions. You just at the pump. Just, Negro, did I eat today? I can't get no half a tank. I got 6 cigarettes. I can't even do it. That used to be, if you had $10, $15 $15, you could go to the gas station with confidence because you knew you was either going to be full or damn near full. If you had a 20, you ain't even talk to the person at the counter. You just 20 on 11, bitch. Used to be, if you put $15 in your tank, you had time to bond with your vehicle. You had time to put the nozzle in and set the clicker and look through your car and clean off the dashboard and look through your CDs and run in the store and get some Pringles and a Snapper, and it'll still be pumping. Now if you put $15 in, you can't even turn around good for that son of a bitch click. As soon as you put it in, just click, click.
Gas $4 a gallon. Can't even pump gas like you used to no more. $4 a gallon? You remember when you used to go to pump and put the nozzle in there and hit it? Be sitting there talking, be on your phone, hey, what's happening? Be walking around, cleaning the windshield. Speaking to hey, girl, what's happening? What you doing? Hey, you. Hey, dog, hey, you go in there, bring me a wine cooler. Bring me a cooler, dog. Not no more. Ain't nothing going on at that pump except you and that pump. Your ass is looking at that pump. Give me some. 4401. God!
1998. Then a year later, 2000, 2 years later, Cedric, you did that same joke.
It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
We be in a space shuttle like it's a 72. Y'all know we'll drive a space shuttle too. That's right up our damn alley. One headlight out, tags be all wrong, all base.
And I'm gonna put up another one where you do a bomb or something, abomination.
He gonna walk up and introduce himself, Chad Johnson, man. Everybody around here call me Abomination, though. Everybody around here call me Abomination, it's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Everybody call me Abomination. Everybody call you Abomination. Yeah, everybody in the whole city call me Abomination. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Abomination, this is what everybody call me. Yeah, everybody call me that, man. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So all week long, my ass talking about Abomination, what up, boy? Hey, Abomination, you gonna run, come over here and watch the game with us later on? Hey, Abomination, run to the store, grab some beer, come on back. My cousin said, what you calling him? Abomination? He said, everybody call him Abomination. It's all right for me to call him that. Like, no, man, his name's CJ. He's saying you can call me by my initials. That's what he said.
The only way that I can answer that question is by telling the Abomination story. It's a true story. See, there was this white family that lived in Mississippi, and they had this man who worked for them occasionally named Abomination. Now, he did various small jobs for them on and off for about a week. One night, he had just finished bartending a party, and the lady of the house realized that she didn't have any money. So she said to him, Abominations, I want to write you a check, but I don't know how to spell Abomination. And he said, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. See, when I came to work for you, I told you my name, and then I said, but you can call me by my initials.
That was in the 80s. You then did that joke 15 years later. Juicy lie, dry truth. The juicy lie is entertaining. The juicy lie is like a toxic woman. It's fun. It's entertaining. But then the dry truth is so much cut and dry. You're a joke thief. You steal jokes. You screw people over, and anything you can do to get to the top. And like he says in the interview, Katt Williams, you said your first wife was the reason you're successful. Your second wife, and now you was telling people, oh, you know, if you're not really taking care of your wife, she gonna leave you. Yo, Steve, didn't your wife cheat on you, bro? With a bodyguard? A bodyguard. So even if you ball out on her, sometimes you being a cornball just turns a woman off. And unfortunately, you're a cornball. I've always questioned you for being funny because, again, if you listen to comedians, Steve Harvey was trying to cut out Bernie Mac for years. The Bernie Mac show, Steve Harvey wanted that because, again, Steve Harvey won everything. So you look at it and you go, this isn't the first comedian who said it. I'm going to put up a clip. Corey Holcomb says that, yeah.
Side of him. I think he's still that same Steve. He's still that. But now you're also seeing another side of him that he never had to show.
That was Terry Vaughn, who worked with Steve Harvey several years ago, talking about how the comic has remained the same, not so great person over the years. That perspective would later come up again among another group of people that worked with Steve.
Well, I guess you talked about how you feel that the beef between Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey was because Steve Harvey was getting a lot of network love during the time and Bernie Mac not so much?
Yeah, and then Bernie started to get it.
Turns out Steve even getting network love wasn't exactly as organic as most people thought.
That's how he got it. Everybody thinks Steve Harvey's some stand-up man. No, I'm kiss the old girl who owned TV One. He used to kiss her. He had the radio show out here.
However, it seems the damage on his friendships had all.
I've had issues with Steve Harvey. A bunch of comedians have. But then when you look at the comedians who said it,
Don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police, you know what I mean? They mean well, but they sit on the side. Ooh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something. You be sitting at home. That shit mine, you know? But ain't nobody gonna believe first come, first serve. You know? So when you do new stuff, you never, I'm telling you, for you comics coming up, never bring your stuff out in front of a house full of comedians. You will never work a lot. Especially established comedians like myself, you'll never work a lot. Make sure you keep that. And I want that question to be asked on the couch. They be stealing your shit for real? Yeah.
They were down here. And what happened was, you step on them, you lily padded them, and you got to that next level because they stood on integrity. And when you stand on integrity, the principles sometimes stop you from getting to where you want to be because the gatekeepers will be like, nah, you need to do this. Because remember, like Gary almost said in the beginning, I was in that read room and someone was like, yeah, you got to suck on this for a meal. To prove it to you, we now live in a society where we allow people to steal. I'm going to put up the videos. There's a very famous song that everyone was like, yo, Cardi B, you stole someone's whole flow. And then the video, you look at it, you go, holy smokes. This video came out 3 years ago. Cardi B, you literally took his entire flow. We promote thievery. Now, to prove it to you, most music now is samples. You know what a sample is? A sample is when you go, oh yeah, this song that came out in 1984 is fire. Let me sample it and then remix it. Now, when sampling, you can remix, but you have to pay the person who owns the rights to that. In comedy, there's none of that. One of the first times I've ever heard or seen like comedians really fighting for joke thievery, Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia. It wasn't one comic, it was multiple comics. Yeah, Carlos Mencia steals my jokes. People steal. Why is it outrageous to believe people will do some conniving things to get to a point on where they want to be? I briefly spoke on Tyler Perry and Oprah before, so I'm going to cross that out. But again, I can't think of, like I said, I can't think of any actors who were 100% closely linked to Tyler Perry and have blown up outrageously. See, that's next one. So now this one, he asked Shannon Sharpe, why do we ask why liars lie? Why do we not listen to the information? Oh, why would they lie? I'm now not only supposed to bring you the truth, but now I'm supposed to diagnose why someone would lie? So because I can't explain to you why this person's a liar and saying X, Y, Z, am I now discredited? Is my point or points of contention not valid? Because again, look it up. Let's look up some Ricky Smiley stuff. Again, I can remember Ricky Smiley. I'm 33 years old. He's not lying. I can't think of one time I've ever heard Ricky Smiley joke. Ricky Smiley does do that elderly church woman multiple times, and you go, that's your only character. And also, I can't think of any Ricky Smiley jokes where I've been like, oh my God, he's killed. I can't. I mean, I can think of like an Eddie Murphy one from the 80s, from Raw. Goonie Goo Goo. I wasn't born in the 80s. But powerful, good comedy sticks around. Now, I mentioned gatekeepers. So again, I want to talk about this thing. Just to prove to you that you definitely can find gatekeepers and pockets of people who push their people forward, look at Adam Sandler's group. Adam Sandler has worked with the same group of people. Now, some of the people in there just aren't funny, but they've been able to be loyal to him and be successful. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Rob Schneider's not funny. I've watched The Animal. It's not it, brother. I've watched the movie where you go to jail. I watched Rob Schneider do the original movie of him going to jail that later Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell then copied. I'll put it up here. David Spade, another one. I don't think it's funny. Now, Tommy Boy with him and Chris Farley, I get it, but Chris Farley carried that movie, not David Spade. I also want to talk about another one. Patrice O'Neal in this clip talks about a movie Mafia. Now, I'm going to put it up, but Patrice O'Neal talks about how he did a couple movies with Spike Lee, and Spike Lee gave him the most money. Spike Lee then called him and was like, yo, do this. And he was like, yo, I can't. I don't mess with HBO. Spike Lee never called him. And he goes, I burned that bridge.
Las Vegas, what's up? Bill.
Hey, I wanted to ask Patrice a question. I've heard his friends, meaning Norton, etc., talk about him burning bridges all the time. I was wondering if you wanted to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I burn. It's sometimes it's a mistake, sometimes it's not. Like I burned one with Spike Lee. And
that ain't a bad bridge to burn.
Fuck that. But it was like it burned itself. It's like sometimes I walk away. I have toilet paper shoes.
Self-burning bridge.
Yeah, and it's a toilet paper bridge. Match sneakers and fucking And it's like here's one that's not my fault. You fucking tell me. Now we in show business. Spy, he wanted me to come audition for the show or for the show you had on Showtime. Now, Showtime was the people I did when I first did my first half-hour special. These motherfuckers offered me a deal, right? Said I was good, and then they said, you know what? We're going to take the deal away, and not only are we going to take it away, we're going to tell you, you'll never be a leading man in this business. You stink. So I said, fuck you, right? So he did that on Showtime. So he said, I want you to come out. He was a fan of mine. I want you to come out and read for this part on Showtime. I said, man, I can't do that. I can't come out and audition for Showtime. I tell you what, audition everybody you want. If you don't find them, then I'll come out. He goes, nah, do it, man, do it. I go, I can't. I said, first of all, though, why are you calling me? Like, you don't fucking call me to tell me to do that. It's like he called my agents, then he called me to say, hey, man, your agent said you're not going to do it. I go, Spike, you don't fucking call me. Like, you don't call me on the fucking phone.
Wait. Spike, you don't call me?
Like, because I can't say no to Spike. Like,
no, he's not. Like, how it works is even though he's Spike Lee, the proper channels you're supposed to take is you're supposed to, like, the agent's supposed to be the bad guy. So when Patrice goes, listen, I can't do it, just tell it, then the agent's got to be like, okay, I got to call Spike Lee. Yeah, Patrice doesn't want to do it. So he's just sitting in his house eating, fucking chilling out, watching TV, and all of a sudden the phone rings. Probably thinks it's Voss or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's Spike Lee.
He's like, hey, it's Spike. What's up, man? Yeah, talk to your agent. I'm like, you cannot fucking call you. Like, if Steven Spielberg calls your house and he goes, hey, listen, I want you to do this movie. You're going to do it for free, and I'm going to make you look like a fucking idiot. And you go, well, Steve.
You know what you say? Yes. Thank you, sir, for calling.
No, the
it's
fuck you
Spielberg.
don't, nigga. If not, if you're in the business, and this is my problem.
Spielberg.
I think
or
I'm in the
Spike
business.
Lee.
That's what happened. And so, in a nutshell, I guess that's why I burn bridges, because I think I'm in the fucking business. So I tell Spike, don't call me, call my people. And he goes, all right. And I never heard from him.
That was the last thing you heard from Spike Lee was, I
could love Spike Lee if he hung up and be like, did the 18th lead in my movie just say, call my people?
I don't want Spike Lee calling me directly.
And he gave me 3 things that I made the most money I ever made in my life. Not the end the cut, the 25th hour. This is how he gave me the role. He goes, he was interviewing me. He goes, you like the Knicks? I go, nah, the Celtics. He goes, all right, yeah, and that's how he gave me the fucking role in 25th hour. And he said, I got a voice over for you. You want it? Yeah. Thousands of fucking dollars, right? I'm sitting there shaking in my balls, going, why Spike? There's a story behind this. I don't want to do this. It has nothing to do with you. Nah, do it for me. Do it for me.
That's when you do the favor for the guy who is entrenched in the business. You do a favor for him.
Okay, motherfuckers. It's all right. Now I know, bitches. But that's one.
Get Spike on the phone. We'll work this out for you.
That's one of 10,000 fucking bridge burns.
So it's almost not like bridge burning. It's more just bad decision.
Like, okay.
And 3 weeks later going, wait a minute.
What did I do?
One of the big reasons comics hate me, and I don't care, but I just do it. And Bill suffered a couple of ones because we.
Oh, I know this one.
It's going over.
You don't get the fuck off the stage.
I just go over and fucking.
So if as an actor and a man, I decide not to do something that goes against my free will, because I tell you, no, you gatekeep, and my career is now tarnished, or it's more difficult for me to get work, seems pretty controlling. But again, let's go back to what I said in the beginning. Katt Williams said it about Harvey Weinstein months before it came out, but then when it came out, it was more than 20 names. So if more than 20 names were diddled, touched, and assaulted by Harvey Weinstein, imagine how many other people never spoke about it. Imagine the people that obliged him and did whatever he said and became movie stars and are successful now. It makes you wonder where you go, you said no to someone once and then you never did anything after that. And the thing that sucks is, yes, Patrice O'Neal passed away, I think in 2014. But if you look, after he passed away, that's when Chris Rock was like, yeah, we was doing roles for him. No, you weren't. There's too much evidence on the Opie and Anthony show, the Howard Stern show, and other podcasts Patrice O'Neal went on that showed, listen, he was a big voice. It wasn't that he was problematic. He was just funny. He spoke his truth. If you watch, I'm pretty sure he's on Park and Recreation. If you watch any episode or any clip of where Patrice O'Neal's in it, he owns that. Even if it's 20 seconds, you go, Jesus, he's funny. But Patrice O'Neal stood on stuff. He's like, oh, listen, he's like, yeah, there's certain stuff I did. I think Patrice O'Neal did, in fact, also put on a dress. But he put on a dress, but he also spoke his mind. And I think that's what it is. You can't be outspoken and be subservient. It's either one or the other. Now, the video is about to be 31 minutes. It's going to be a little bit long because I'm going to put in clips and all the other stuff. So this is one topic I want to talk about. Another one I want to talk about that this may have passed some people. This is about Denzel Washington. He doesn't talk about it in the movie, but he talks about other actors and, comedians talking about like dresses and being put in really awkward situations. Now, Denzel Washington did an interview years ago. He says back in 1986, he was asked to read for a movie. And in the movie, he calls it The Nigga They Couldn't Kill. He goes, they come to a part of it where they try to hang him. And he goes, that's not funny. He realizes there's Jewish people. And he goes, it's like bringing a bunch of Jewish people to a shower and gas them, right? That's funny. And they go, no, it's not. He goes, so this shit isn't funny either. I say that to say this. We as a whole in the black community, or just the community of people who want to support actors actors, thespians, writers, creators, we need to hold these people accountable for what they do. And the reason why I say black is because as a black man, if I'm an actor and I greenlight you doing some really racist shit in the name of funny, I'm co-signing that that's funny. Dave Chappelle said in Blue Streak, the movie he did with Morton, they wanted him to put on a dress. Why?
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a stand.
You were a criminal. Martin Lawrence was a thief who stole diamonds, who then acted like a cop to go back in the building where he hid the diamonds. How is Dave Chappelle character, who was working with a bunch of robbers, needing to pull on a dress? How did that work into the script? I also bring up Oprah because if you look back at the interview he did with Oprah, it's very passive aggressive. He's like, "Oh, are you sure? Were you just acting crazy?" Yeah, Opes. That's what he was doing. It's a-okay to be very dismissive when someone's telling you their experience, but also stonewall everyone else. Because again, Oprah, why don't you like Ludacris? Because he curses in his music? Okay. And 50 Cent? Okay. But you're supposed to be pro-black. But it's only ever pro-black when the profit is on your end, right? Because this isn't the first time we've heard, like, yo, I didn't get paid. I was shorted out. It's just not Monique and Taraji P. Henson. There are multiple people. I'll put up some names. You know, you can do your research. I'll put up links. But yeah, that's my take on it. We must protect Katt Williams. And the reason why I say we must protect Katt Williams is because it seems like he's standing on integrity. It seems like a lot of the things that have been in the echo chamber of the industry, in the music career, and that's all there. We've heard it before. I mean, do you guys not remember B2K, Marcus Houston, and the whole drama of like Chris Stokes, Razby, and all that? Okay. Again, thank you very much for your time, patience, tapping in with me. I'm gonna put everything up now. Again, Giraffe and a G-string. This video is being dropped today. Bumblebee Tuna. Peace.